Hi there. My name is Robin Reynolds. I am a systems engineer and a creative coach. I help people discover and identify their deepest dreams and desires and then intentionally design their lives to get where they want to go. My favorite place is the intersection between imagination, connection, growth, and agency. And that last one, agency, is what I want to talk to you about today. Spoiler alert, the biggest thing we can do for our health and well being and satisfaction in life is figure out how to take more control over our own lives. And so I'm going a little off book today. I had a different topic in mind for this week, but I had two conversations with friends this morning, different friends, different conversations. And just some things happen that have really gotten me fired up about this topic. So, yes, creativity, nature, all the things that I talk about and truly believe in really are good for our well being. You know what? The major primary thing we can do is understand where we can take more personal power in our lives. And so let me take a step back and say I have had some feedback that the word agency may not be the best word for me to use. Maybe it's not completely and immediately understandable to people. And so let me define what I mean by that. Agency is the ability to control a certain thing, a certain activity or scope. What I'm talking about today is agency over our own lives. For those of us that don't live in undeveloped countries, let's say we live in the US or a European country, most of us have some degree of autonomy over our decisions and our lives, our thoughts and our choices. So, the very biggest thing that we can do is take a look at how are we making these choices? How are we thinking through things in our lives? Is it on autopilot or have we taken a couple of steps back, taken a deep breath, gotten a fresh perspective, and revisited these things at some point in our lives? All of the other things, the connecting with nature, implementing a creative process, designing your life intentionally, all of that falls under actually gaining sovereignty or more sovereignty over your choices and decisions and the way that you manage your life. And when I say you, I don't mean you, my friend. I mean us, all of us. We can all tweak different areas of our lives in this way. Why does this matter? Just to point out the obvious. Well, because the more you have control over your life, the more that you exercise agency or sovereignty, then the more options and possibilities you have. And then you can direct your life onto the trajectory that you really want. So I think the first thing we need to do to gain that control is just take a really good look. Do do an analysis. Start paying attention and notice when you might be giving away that control. How do we give away control? In many ways. We operate under habit, obligation, cultural norms, anything that causes us to automatically think something, decide something, or do something should be examined just to make sure that you are really in alignment with those actions and activities. That's one way to start gaining tiny bits of control over your own life. When you begin to do this, a lot of things happen. I realized today that that piece right there, gaining control over my own life, is actually the big transformation that happened to me. If you don't know my story, I won't go into it right now, but I can tell you my life and I as a person was completely different for many years of my life, well into adulthood. And even when I started taking and exercising this control, it was slow. It was a piece parts, sort of fragmented approach because it grows and the momentum builds on itself. It's not immediate, of course, and you have to continue doing it. It's a process. But the revelation I've had today is that is what I am trying to share with people. That is what I am so passionate and excited about. It's helping people grab a little bit of that. And it's not a black and white situation. So you may, as a person, and I may exercise more control in certain areas of my life versus others. And that's because we may feel safer to do it there. We may be in a system, let's say at work, where we have more power there. And so we naturally begin to align with that. But if there are areas of your life that you haven't done this with, this is a huge opportunity. As you do it, you begin to feel stronger in the world. You feel more capable. You build a body of evidence that, in fact, it's okay to perhaps not agree with something that your family wants you to do, or maybe change entirely your approach to something, even though this is the way you've always done it. Actually, you've changed now and you want to do it that way. It's okay. This all may sound elementary to you. I don't know, but it's transformative and life changing. Take my word for it. And so when you do this, you also enact something else very, very important in your life. You don't stay stuck in indecision, in rationales, excuses, blame. Now, I know that all the systems that we are in, the world, the groups, the communities, all of it, I know they're not fair. They're not. And we can fight injustice when it exists. Absolutely. That's not really what I'm talking about today, but I want to acknowledge that that is real and true. What we can also do is take individual responsibility within those systems, because it is very easy to stay stuck in blame, rationales, and I'll just say it, even intellectual or actual physical laziness. It's inertia, guys. We all do it. And we're not going to be, absolutely able to, be on at every moment and changing and, dynamic and options and possibilities. I know it's a lot. But if you do it consistently on some regular basis and you make it a part of your life, this is how we make our lives this beautiful, shining, glittery thing that we want them to be. How do you take control over your life? How do we do it? Well, we begin to know ourselves. That takes work. We begin to trust ourselves based on evidence and real action. We invest in ourselves. And I mean time and energy and thought, the important ways of investing. It might even mean investing in a class or some learning. Absolutely. The point is, we begin to take some of that power back. And we always, always keep our word to ourselves. If you tell yourself that you have a goal, then you realize that word is just as important as your word might be to a family member or a loved one or a romantic partner. This is how we take back our power. And so this is my rant for today. I wanted to share with you that, in my opinion, when I'm talking about health and well-being, the most important thing we can do is begin to identify areas where we may have opportunity for growth. And then over time, using whatever method works for you. For me, it's a creative practice, and I have a very, very strong support system. Some of them are family members, very few actually. I have built intentionally in my life a support system. of incredible, powerful, fantastic people. That is huge for me. When you begin to do those things, then the other things start falling in place. And so, this is my inspirational talk for the day. I am wishing each and every one of you a super, super holiday and a wonderful new year. Speaking of new year, before I go, I have had the opportunity to lead a couple of 2023 visioning sessions in the last week. And I have another one coming up, which is on the day of New Year's Eve. Leading these sessions is also one of the factors that contributed to me speaking about this topic today. It really helped me to understand that at the core of everything we strive to do is how much control we have over our own decisions, follow through, and commitment to ourselves. And so when I think about my vision for 2023, I think less about a to do list, like a hard charging, what am I going to get done? And more about who am I becoming and what are the ways that I can become the person that I can see in my head. So I have been scrolling my website down at the bottom there. I would encourage you to take a visit if you like, if you're interested in all of this. You are invited to the 2023 celebration and visioning session. It's actually done in collaboration with Christine Stump from Badlands Yoga. She is an incredible, incredible teacher and yogi. So the 4-hour workshop includes about an hour or so of a creative visioning project and activity that I will lead. And then Christine will lead the rest of the workshop and talk about how you can implement a home yoga practice. It's a lot about envisioning how your new year can be exactly what you want it to be, and then how you can take practical steps to actually make that happen and follow through. So, on my website, you will find a link to that workshop, and there are in person options as well as electronic options. I hope to see you there, and I'm wishing you just the most blessed, peaceful holiday season. Bye bye.